Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Farida Tunida. Di sini saya akan menyampaikan materi mengenai diaksis part yang pertama. Jadi, langsung saja kita masuk ke materi mengenai diaksis. The term diaksis is derived from the Greek word meaning to show or to point out. Diaksis is referenced by means of an expression whose interpretation is relative to the usually extralinguistic context of the utterance, such as who is speaking, the time or place of speaking, the gestures of the speaker, and the current location in the discourse. Linguistic expressions employed typically as deictic expressions or deictics include: the first, demonstratives, the second, and present pronouns, and the third, tense marker, the fourth, adverb of time and space, and the last, motion verb. Nah, jadi yang pertama mengenai diaksis diambil dari kata Yunani, artinya untuk menunjukkan sesuatu. Nah, secara istilah, sebuah rujukan yang dilakukan interpretasi dari reference itu tergantung secara relatif pada konteks yang itu di luar bahasa. Seperti misal, apa konteksnya? Nah, kemudian the time or place of speaking. Jadi ekspresi linguistik yang mengandung diaksis seperti des, kemudian thus. Nah, di sini ada contoh yang kedua, I and then you. Yang ketiga, I want to go Surabaya. Nah, ini universal. Semua bahasa memiliki konsep diaksis. Me tidak tahu merujuk ke siapa. Yang dimaksud here itu di mana kita tidak tahu. Sudah dibawa pergi ombak atau itu termasuk referensinya. Nah, deictic versus non-deictic expression adalah memiliki penggunaan deictic, sementara non-deictic expression tidak mempunyainya. Oke, next. Nah, di sini diaksis is a universal linguistic phenomenon that is all human language contain deictic terms. Why is this the case? The reason a language without deictics cannot serve the communicative needs of its users as effectively and efficiently as a language which does have them. Oke, 9.1 Found in a bottle in the sea. Meet me here a month from now with a magic wand about this long. Without the relevant deictic information, one would know who to meet, where and when to meet the writer of the message, or how long a magic wand to bring. Okay. Next, deictic versus non-deictic expression. Deictic expression or deictics are expression that have a deictic use. Specific or central. Non-deictic expressions are expressions that do not have such a usage. Specific or central. For example, while second person pronouns are deictic expression, the third person ones are not. Okay, for example, you and you, but not you. Go back, Go back to your dorms. And then Mary wishes that she could visit the land of Lilliput. Nah, meski kadang-kadang suatu expression disebut deictic expression belum tentu digunakan. Nah, maka kita berbicara pragmatics sangat berpengaruh kepada konteks. Nah, gestural versus symbolic use of a deictic expression. Okay, next. However, it should be pointed out that a deictic expression can be used non-deictically as in, and conversely, a non-deictic expression can be used deictically as in. Contohnya, if you travel on a train without a valid ticket, you will be liable to pay a penalty fare. And then, you is used as impersonal. It is used non-deictically. On the other hand, the interpretation of each of the three instances of C depends crucially on a direct moment-by-moment monitoring of the physical context in which the sentence is uttered. Hence, the third person here serves as a deictic expression. Kalau tidak ada gestur tertentu, itu akan sulit. Nah, harus memonitor, harus menunjuk orang, menunjuk kemana, kemudian atau matanya itu tertuju kemana dari orang yang berbicara supaya orang dapat memahami. Oke. Next. Oke, sebelumnya ada yang tidak membutuhkan gestur tetapi membutuhkan simbolik. Karena ruang dan waktu bagaimana orang berbicara. Kalau dia di kota Medan, berarti orang itu di kota Medan. Itu yang dinamakan simbolik. Nah, next, gestural versus symbolic use of a deictic expression. Oke, maaf. Gestural use can be properly interpreted only by a direct moment-by-moment monitoring of some physical aspect of the speech event. For example, in 9.2 and 9.5 above, the deictic expression can be interpreted only if they are accompanied by a physical demonstration such as a selecting gesture or eye contact of some sort. By contrast, interpretation of the symbolic use of deictic expression only involves the basic spatio-temporal parameter of the speech event. If you hear someone uttering 9.6, you do not expect the utterance to be accompanied by any physical indication of the reference profit that you know the general location of the speaker, you can understand it without any problem. Okay, next. Okay, mohon maaf. Okay, next, deictic central and deictic projection. Nah, generally speaking, deixis is organized in an egocentric way. A deictic center is a reference point in relation to which a deictic expression is to be interpreted. The deictic center is most typically the present time, location, participant, role, and so forth of the speaker. In the following example, the speaker, the actual location, and the actual time of the utterance are respectively the deictic centers for the interpretation of I, here, and now. For example, I'm over here now. Okay. Deictic center and deictic projection. Katanya dengan motion kata kerja yang mengandung pergerakan. Egocentric maksudnya pusat dieksis ada pada speaker. Jadi betul-betul tergantung pada speakernya. Pusatnya ada pada speakernya. Jadi seperti itu. In the following example, I'm over here now. Okay, next. Jadi seperti itu ya. However, this sebentar. Okay, next. However, this egocentric organization of diexis not always adhered to which gives rise to what alliance. Go and come are both motions verb. The use of go encourages movement away from the deictic center. Therefore, we do not have deictic projection. By contrast, the use of come marks movement toward the deictic center. Therefore, we a deictic projection, namely the deictic center has been projected from the speaker onto the address. Basic categories of deixis. Okay, traditionally, three basic categories of deixis are discussed in the linguistic and the philosophy of language literature, namely person, place, and time. The reason the three behind this tripartition is that all pointing is done by human beings, and therefore all pointing expressions have to be related to the uttering person, the place of utterance, and the time of utterance. Basic categories of deixis ada 3. Yang pertama ada person, place, and time. Ada 3 yang basic karena all pointing. Person deixis, pembicaranya orang yang sedang berbicara. Personal pronouns and vocatives mengandung makna beberapa person sendiri. Gendernya apa? Nah, ada kalanya di bahasa Indonesia tidak mengenal gender, tetapi dalam bahasa Arab ada perbedaan dari sisi dan penggunaannya. Jadi seperti itu. Nah, next, person deixis. Jadi itu tadi yang saya sampaikan dalam bahasa. Person deixis in concert with the identification of the interlocutors are participant roles in a speech event. It is commonly expressed by the traditional grammatical category of person, as reflected in personal pronouns, and if relevant, their associate predicate agreements and vocatives, which can be encoded in, for example, kinship term, titles, and proper names, and combination of these. Nah, ini ya, ada kalanya personal pronouns menunjukkan jarak berbicara dengan orang. Dia memiliki predikat. Nah, kalau vocatives tidak memiliki predikat, mereka dalam pelafalannya terpisah. Secara grammar juga terpisah. Jadi seperti itu. Nah, time deixis in concert with the encoding of temporal points and span relative itu ya. And then a distinction we need to make it is between the moment of utterance. Under normal circumstance, assuming the default deictic central. But there are situations of utterance such as the writing of letters and the pre-recording of media programs, where messages are not sent and received at the same time. Next, the encoding of time deixis. Okay, next. The encoding of time deixis. Time deixis is commonly grammatically deictic adverb of time and tense. Jadi itu ya. Nah, space deixis. Space deixis is concerned with the specification of location, frames of spatial reference, coordinate system used to compute and specify the location of object with respect to other object. There are three linguistic frames of reference to express spatial relationship between the entity to be located. Okay, next and the last, the intrinsic, the relative, finally the absolute. Nah, di sini space deixis ketika ujaran itu diujarkan frames of spatial reference, sebuah sistem yang dikoordinat supaya mudah ditelaah. Ada namanya reference ketika kita ingin menunjukkan dua konsep. Nah, misal dalam poin 19.17 ya, the dog is the dog is diposisikan terhadap ground. Nah, relatif tidak melibatkan referen, ini melibatkan view tertentu. Nah, contohnya viewpoint sebagai pembicara, figure sebagai the dog, ground sebagai the cat. Nah, deixis ruang, space, deixis berkaitan dengan spesifikasi lokasi dalam ruang relatif terhadap peserta dalam peristiwa tutur, bingkai sistem koordinat, referensi spesial yang digunakan untuk menghitung dan tentukan lokasi objek sehubungan dengan objek lain. 3 kerangka acuan linguistik untuk mengungkapkan hubungan spesial antara entitas yang akan ditempatkan atau rujukan atau gambar yang atau tanah, intrinsik yang pertama, yang kedua relatif, yang ketiga mutlak. Oke. Baik, saya kira itu yang dapat saya sampaikan. Apabila ada kurang lebihnya saya mohon maaf, dan apabila ada tutur kata yang kurang pas atau kurang betul dalam pemaparan yang saya paparkan tadi. Terima kasih, semoga bermanfaat. Saya akhiri, akhirul kalam. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.